Long exposure can produce some absolute amazing images. And when you do it with water, you need the water to be moving. But can you do it with a calm sea? Let's find out. Greetings all. Now, normally I am rushing around like a headless chicken, but today I'm really nice and early, and it's really dark, so I'm not walking while talking because I need my light to see where I'm going, and I don't want to fall over or anything. So let's get cracking. A lot of times is long exposure as well is you end up using filters, but if you get here when it's dark, which I have done now, it sort of gives a bit of a different look. So I've just been hanging around for a couple of minutes because I wanted it to be a 30-second exposure but without a filter, because it's the same thing really, you know, really dark. So yeah, all I did is put it down onto 30 seconds, played around with the aperture and the ISO to get the exposure right, and I've took the shot. I was going to actually record what I'm actually looking at, but the light's not good enough for this to, it's just it's really dark and it'll just look horrible, so I didn't bother with this one. So yeah, I've just got all these rocks now that's on the left, it's leading in, and then obviously got where the sun's going to actually rise, which is sort of like pretty much there in front of us, and it's sort of like ground a bit of orange and reds as it's starting to come up. So we're sort of like pretty much getting into the blue hour now. Yes, I know, I got here early. It's not normally like me, I'm normally rushing around, but anyway. And so yeah, I did a 30-second exposure. Obviously, because it's dark, I can do that. Yeah, it's turned out pretty nice actually. I'm really pleased with that one. So yeah. Yeah, it just looked quite nice. Just looked really nice. Got that horizon's on that top third line, and yeah, first one's done already. Let's sort of like talk a little bit about long exposure. What is long exposure? What do you class as long exposure? So, I mean, is it like, because there's no actual definition. If you actually look it up, there's nothing to say, oh, long exposure is from X amount of seconds. There isn't anything there. So I think a lot of it is all down to your own judgment of what you're going to class. For me, if you're, let's sort of look at it like this. If you're around about, I'm going to say about over 1 or 2 seconds, you know, where you start getting close to 5, 10 seconds, that's what I would sort of like class would be long exposure, of 5 seconds. It's like photographing fireworks. If you actually go on the website, I've actually got a part on there that talks about photographing fireworks. Now that is sort of a long exposure, and the reason being is because obviously you're going to be catching the light trails. So I think to determine what is long exposure and what isn't, you've got to actually look at what it is that you're doing as well, and then also look at what equipment that you're going to be using as well, maybe. I mean, definitely if you're going to start putting ND filters on, which you're really going to be, so you're slowing down that shutter speed a lot, that would definitely be long exposure. But you can do long exposure like I've just done without having ND filters. So it is really difficult to say what is and what isn't. Right, so this one is exactly the same, but it was only 2.5 seconds. So take a look at it, just a quick look. Would you class that as long exposure? So I'm probably going to say around about the 5-second mark for me personally. I don't know. Like I say, it really is a tricky one. So yeah, leave a comment below. What would you class as long exposure? I've just zoomed into the group of rocks a little bit further out, so it's sort of like basically just cropped a bit of what I've just done. I've done this one at 15. I quite like this one actually, and this one's I managed to get down to 15 because obviously this sunlight's coming up now, so I will have to start using filters. But this one is 15. This one is definitely a long exposure. So yeah, I'm probably going to say, me personally, around about anything that's above 5 seconds, I'd probably start classing as a long exposure. Now, I'm going to be doing as well, which will probably be on the next video. It certainly will be coming up soon, and it's going to be doing long exposure at home. And all you're going to actually need, this is going to sound daft, is a torch, but you're going to want to see that one anyway. So, you know, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and you're going to want to see it. So the answer to this question, can you do long exposure when the sea is calm? Turns out, yes, you can. And what is long exposure? Well, I think you're looking around about 5 seconds or above. That's my opinion on it. Yeah, it'd be good to hear what your thoughts are on whether you think that long exposure is something a lot more than that. Let me know. And so now I've got about half hour wait. What time is it? 4. Yeah, about half hour wait for the sun to rise, and then I'll grab a couple more. That is looking beautiful. You got somebody else down here as well doing a bit of long exposure. Sort of yeah, it's a good place to come, especially the group of rocks over there, which I did them last week, but from higher up. And this is the one that I came here for. Yep, 30-second exposure, 10-stop ND filter. I like it. I really, really like it. And you know what, it's time for me to bank sandwich and a cup of tea. But thanks for joining me on this one, guys. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care, stay safe. I'll see you soon.